There are many ways to die in the galaxy. You could be vaporized in a sun flare, eaten alive on a jungle moon, or blinked out of existence by the Voidborn, eldritch tyrants who ruled the space between stars. But no one ever warned me about dying of embarrassment because I accidentally won a riddle contest and got engaged to one of them. I'm Corporal Marcus Tran, expeditionary linguist of the Terran Outreach Corps. I joined up thinking I'd spend my days deciphering lost languages and sipping synth coffee with alien scholars. Instead, I got captured by the Void Empress Velixthera the Eternal. They say she can unmake planets with a thought. That her voice can melt the minds of weaker species. That her riddles twist reality itself. So naturally my idiot mouth decided to challenge her. Beginning. The challenge. We were on the edge of Sector 19 Delta, mapping ancient hyperspace relics. I'd barely stepped off the shuttle before the sky tore open like paper. Reality folded in on itself, and out slithered a creature made of shadow and stars. The Empress. A dozen of US were taken. Scientists, soldiers, diplomats. We were dragged into her void citadel, suspended in a dimension where time hiccuped and reason felt optional. She hovered above us on her obsidian throne, eyes like collapsing suns. I grow bored, she purred, her voice vibrating through my bones. Mortals amuse me. And you? Her gaze locked onto me. You carry the scent of riddles on your breath. I hadn't even spoken yet. Speak, Terran. Entertain me with your mind. If you win, I shall spare your people. If you lose, she smiled, revealing too many teeth, your atoms will scream across eternity. And for some reason I stepped forward and said, deal. I don't know why I did it. Adrenaline. Stupidity. Maybe it was that I'd just broken up with my ex and figured I had nothing to lose. That's how bad my love life was. I found arguing with a void goddess less terrifying than texting my ex. Middle. The contest. She conjured a circle of dark crystal. A riddle arena. I felt it in my head like static, something ancient and sacred. Once you entered, lies would unravel. Thought itself became weapon and shield. We stood across from each other, and the first riddle left her lips. I have no mouth, yet I scream. I have no body, yet I dream. I end what begins and begin what ends. What am I? Her voice coiled around my skull. My nose bled. My memories flickered. But I gritted my teeth and answered. The void. She raised a brow. Impressive. Round after round we went. Her riddles twisted time, bent logic, layered metaphor on metaphor. One made me relive my childhood. Another forced me to experience my own death. I was bleeding from my ears, exhausted, dizzy. But somehow I answered them. And then, it was my turn. She smirked, expecting nothing. So I said, what's always in front of you but can't be seen? She frowned. Too simple. The future. Correct, I nodded. Try this one. What belongs to you, but others use it more than you do? Your name. Right again, I smiled grimly. Last one. I leaned forward. I am taken from a mine, and shut in a wooden case, from which I am never released. And yet I am used by every student and sage. What am I? She blinked. Her smirk faded. Time warped around her as she contemplated. Minutes passed. Or maybe centuries. Her gaze narrowed. Graphite, she said finally, voice unsure. Correct substance, I said. But incorrect answer. I held up a pencil from my belt pouch. Pencil, I whispered. Not graphite. I asked what it was, not what it was made of. You lose. The void pulsed. The arena shattered. The Empress stared at me, stunned. And then she laughed. Twist. The engagement. I expected wrath. I expected annihilation. I did not expect the void Empress to descend from her throne, striding toward me with curiosity glowing in her eyes. No one has bested me in 10,000 cycles, she said, tilting her head. You are delightful. Thanks. She placed a clawed hand on my chest. By the old accords, a victory in the Riddle spire binds minds in unity. You have bested me. Therefore, as Empress Eternal, I must submit. My brain skipped a beat. Wait, submit. Like, you have to let us go. She leaned close. Submit, she purred. As your betrothed. My brain exploded. What do you mean, betrothed? She blinked. Is this not your custom? To prove wit and worth, to earn the mind of one's equal. Is this not your form of mating ritual? I reeled. No. I mean kind of. But not like that. It's just what? Around us, the other captives stared in silence. Lieutenant Brask mouthed, "What did you do?" Velixthera's expression softened. You challenged me with riddles. Not with weapons. You sought knowledge. You saw my mind and I saw yours. You triumphed. Therefore, by ancient rights, we are bound. I opened my mouth, closed it, opened it again. And then she added, the wedding shall be in 7 cycles. Your people will attend. You will rule at my side. That was the moment I passed out. Later, escape. When I awoke, I was in a floating chamber of silver webs and glowing vines. It was luxurious, elegant, creepy. A projection appeared beside me, Velixthera reclining on a starlight throne. I have had your measurements taken, she said. Your ceremonial garments are being prepared. I allowed input from your Terran cultural archives. Tuxedo and cake shall be provided. Choke. You want a wedding? Of course, she said. Or do Terrans prefer mating contracts to be sealed with blood and sigils? No. Look, I never agreed to marry you. You bested me. It is done. That's not how it works for us. Her voice dropped. Do you intend to dishonor our pact? I didn't agree to a pact. She frowned. Her aura flickered dangerously. You would shame me before the courts of the infinite. God. I was going to start an interdimensional war over a riddle contest. Paste. I needed a plan. I couldn't fight her. I couldn't run. But maybe, just maybe, I could talk my way out. Ending. The final riddle. Wait, I said, holding up my hands. Let me propose a new riddle. Her eyes lit up. Another contest. Winner chooses the nature of the bond between us. She grinned. Agreed. I steadied myself, heart pounding. I exist between yes and no. I am given freely but hard to earn. I grow stronger when shared and weaker when forced. Without me, love is prison. With me, even enemies can find peace. What am I? I stared. For once she was quiet. Minutes passed. Then she whispered, consent. He nodded. She exhaled. Her form flickered, dimming slightly. Then I see, she murmured. Your species treasures freedom of will, even in bonds of love. That's right, I said softly. If I chose to be with you, it'd mean something. But forcing it, that just makes it hollow. She was silent. Then she knelt. I release you from the pact, she said. But know this, your riddles will echo in my mind for eternity. And if you ever return to me, willingly, her voice became a whisper of galaxies, then I will call you beloved. Epilogue. Home again. They dropped us back near the survey site. None of our sensors picked up how we'd been taken, or how long we'd been gone. To the rest of the galaxy, it was just another weird anomaly. But I knew better. Sometimes I still see her in my dreams, sitting on a throne of collapsing stars, smiling as she thinks through a puzzle. Sometimes I wonder what might have happened if I'd said yes. But mostly,